All right, we'll bring you guys back. Stephen Duffy will talk to you. You've conducted pretrial research in hundreds of cases, including selecting juries across the nation. Closing arguments beginning today. How much do they really influence the jury, and will attorneys be able to sway jurors at this point in the trial, or do you think some of their minds are already made up?
Yeah, what typically happens is most jurors at this point in time, particularly after 17 days of testimony, have made up their mind. What you're really trying to do is one, persuade any of those jurors who are undecided or more in the middle. You can think of them almost as swing voters in a legal context. The other thing you're really trying to do is to speak to your advocates in two ways. One is to motivate them to stand their ground, right? It's particularly important for the defense here because, one juror doesn't agree to go along with the rest and you have a mistrial, which is almost as good as an acquittal for Trump's purposes. And the second thing you're trying to do is to arm those jurors who are on your side, whether that's the prosecution or the defense, so that they can be persuasive in the jury room. And that's how to answer the specific verdict questions, what evidence is most important and isn't important. So those are really the keys, big picture wise, for closing arguments.
I wonder if there was sort of a subtle message that was being sent to the jurors from Trump's side. He had lots of friends and allies coming in day after day. They would be in the pews behind him and, of course, appear behind him when he was holding these press conferences there in the echoey hallways and all of that. But was it a quiet message to the jurors, too? Do you think that impacted them at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think both sides have it's important for both sides to emphasize just how big of a deal this trial is, right? I don't think that's lost on anybody, but that's certainly one of the things Trump's team is trying to signal by having, such a celebrity gallery behind them, right? And really, I think they're trying to speak to those one or two jurors who, may be skeptical of the prosecution case and may look at Trump more favorably than many of the others, particularly in a New York jury, and reminding them that, they should hold out, frankly, right? That they should stand their ground, that this is a big deal, that this is a political witch hunt. And the other aspect of it, I think, is clearly political, right? There's much of Trump's defense case has departed from the standard legal playbook, and he's been trying this case as much in the court of public opinion as he has to the 12 jurors or 18 jurors in the box.
So what does the prosecution need to be concentrating on during closing arguments?
So really, the flip side of the coin I just spoke about is they're really going to be focusing on empowering the jury to do the right thing and emphasizing that no one is above the law, even former presidents, right? Particularly a New York jury will not let anyone get away with this kind of sordid conduct. It's really about marshaling all of the evidence. As you mentioned, they've heard from 20 plus witnesses, marshaling all that evidence, making clear that this can't be a mere coincidence. I think also they will try to downplay to an extent Cohen's testimony by emphasizing that he's an imperfect witness, but that everything he said is corroborated by other evidence and that it can't just be a mere coincidence. On the flip side, I'm sure Trump's defense will focus heavily on Michael Cohen as the weakest link in the chain. And they'll emphasize that if one link in the chain breaks, then the prosecution's case fails.
All right. Stephen, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.